Okay, y'all, so I washed and banded my hair with some rubber bands about a week ago, baby. It's been a minute. So I think I want to start off in the front. Sometimes I start off in the back, you know. I will part a section here and then go in again there and then go around from the side above my ear. But today I want to start off in the front. First thing first, I like to use a rat tail comb with a metal end, and then I just double check it until I'm comfortable with it. I'm cool with that. I do have like a long floor mirror right here in front of me, and then I like to use just a little small hand mirror so that when I do get to the back, I start off just feeling forward where I want it to be. I'll do my part, and then I like to take like one of these little duck clips to hold the hair down so that one hand is holding some hair up and the other hand will be free to hold my mirror. So that's why I like to use the clip to be able to hold the hair, and then I can take my mirror and look back and look into the long floor mirror to see where the part is at. So I know I need to go back right here, and I like to just take the comb and put it like right in my part. I can feel it because it's cold, and then section it off. I'll repeat the same steps, like grab another clip, hold that down, and then I look in the mirror, see where I need to fix it. I know I need to go back right here and fix it. That's pretty much how I do it. I wanted to explain it before I even get to the back. So you see how I did that really quick? Just using my clips to help me separate in the front. All right, and sometimes I'll go all the way over and sometimes I won't. Let me just go all the way over. Girl, I'm trying to do as little work as possible. Baby, I am tired. It is 9 o'clock at night. All right, so I have 4 sections on each side, a total of 8 rows at the top. Yeah, if you want to pre-section all your rows out, by all means do that, baby. But this way, it just flows a little better for me. I am tired, so that's another reason why I'm starting off in the front, so I can put all of my energy up into the front, and then when I get to the back, who cares? I'm using this red 1 edge control. Never tried this one in the black tube. I tried the red tube before. This is gonna be 2. And this is some flaxseed gel that I made. And sometimes I will boil it and then strain it. This time, as you see, I did not. I put it in some hot water and let it sit. And here it is. I like to put that on the ends of my hair and then follow up with some leave-in conditioner. I did that wrong. I actually didn't want to add that cream until after. So really, it's add edge control first, then go ahead and start your braid, because I forgot when you add the flaxseed gel and the leave-in conditioner, it makes the hair slippery, and I want to make sure I have a good grip. See how good I grip that base? And then I can go in with my flaxseed gel and then some of that leave-in conditioner, and then proceed with my braid. That way the base is tighter. Twirl those ends, and that's how you do it. Edge control around the entire section. So edge control on the edges as well. And then we can pre-section this maybe 3 times. Then add my flaxseed leave-in conditioner and braid it up. But yeah, this is pretty much all I do. Now, I do have one of those 3-way mirrors that you can put on the back of your door. I've had it for about 2 years now and have yet to use it because this works for me. A floor mirror and a hair mirror when I get to the back. And I like to use the flaxseed gel because that way I use less product on my hair. Because if I wasn't using this flaxseed gel, I would be putting edge control all down my braid, well, my hair for the braid. And then I go in with some leave-in conditioner just because. I don't know, I just do it. But yeah, the flaxseed gel is just to take place of the edge control. I'd rather use a lot of flaxseed gel versus edge control on my hair. 1, it's saving me money. 2, it's healthier. 3, it's less work, because when you use the edge control, you have to really work it into your hair. Go in and do the braid, then go right back in with the flaxseed. See, the flaxseed, it just helped tame the frizz. Honestly, that's why I like to use the edge control. It tames the frizz, so I don't be having all these little flyaways and curls popping out. It gives it a sleeker look. And that's it. I'm going to work my way up to the middle, and then when I get to this side, I'll probably start over here, then work my way up to the middle on that side as well. Now this section is a little smaller, so I have to go in and fix those sides again. But as long as my middle part is in the middle, we should be good. See how I'm like tugging on the hair and pulling it up? That's how I make sure that it's pretty taut. Then I start to braid down. Yes, these braids look so good and so neat. So when I get to the middle, I try to line up my middle parts just to get a more polished, clean look. So here, take that straight over. Everywhere else, you know, it doesn't matter. Mine are kind of just going down however. So in the front, I basically like to hold my arms and hands down to the side. That way it's more like an underhand braid. So of course, split my hair into 3. And then I'll proceed with doing the braid. Tug on my hair and then continue to braid down. Just to make sure my roots are pretty taut. And then go in and add the flaxseed gel and my leave-in conditioner. And proceed to braid everything down. In the back, I hold my hands differently. So here's the top, all complete. Really nice and neat. It's actually super neat. The bike. Alright, so here we are in the back. Honestly, I only want 2 braids at the bottom. I feel like this side is a little lower. Sometimes it's best to just leave it and don't mess it up. But hey, here I am. Still cool as a cucumber. Same thing with the edge control on the roots. Oh, that's a mess. And I just knew that was it. Seems like it's coming to each side. Okay, that's good. So in the back, like I said, I'll hold both of my arms up with my hands reaching to the back. Split it into 3. And then here I braid underhand still, just pulling the hair like so. And then I bring it around to one side and continue to braid down. And there, 1 row down. Those are fat. So it's the next day. I did go in and make this second row a little smaller because baby, she was just too big. I didn't have it in me last night to do it today. I had a change of heart. I said, girl, please go fix it. So now I will try to line my parts up with the front row and like part it from here. Then once this is straight across, I will split this section in half. And then make sure this row lines up with this row that's all the way down here. I just briefly sketch the madness and then I can go in and clean it up. These duck clips, I got them from Temu. They came in a pack of 12. Utilize every last one. What on God's green earth? Let's take these down and go to the scrunchie. A little bit from here, here, here. Okay, that's good. Now this I need to split. Let's take a clip and pin all of this over so that I can see what's going on when I start my part. And you know, just repeat the same steps. Clipping, sectioning, parting, go for it. And another thing I like to do is put a part down the middle just to see how thick it is and if that's the thickness I want for that row. But let's see what this row will be giving. So they're about the same size and thickness. So this row will have a part down the middle, and then this row, a braid will be here in the middle. You know, just to keep this bricklayer effect where you have a part, a braid, a part, a braid. So another way when braiding the back, if you don't feel comfortable pulling the hair over like this, doing it underhand, then of course you can do it this way, as if you're corn rolling your hair. But I find that there'd be like a lump right here versus super flat when you do it basically overhand as if you're corn rolling the hair. Another way is to just bring both of your hands over to one side and then braid it underhand this way. It's the same way as when I was doing it in the front. So for me, I like all of my plaits to be underhand braided so that they would be like a knotless braid. Because when you braid it over, it'd be a little knot right there. Not too obvious, but that's just my take on it. So for this one, I'll just try to find the middle, you know, to put a braid in the middle. I'll just part wherever. I can tell this is already too fat. Oh, that's too fat. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, she looking a little fatty. There might be 3 on this side. This one in the middle. And then 2 over here. So this actually isn't bad. I'll keep it. And I'm sure someone will ask, could you do this method but start in the back? You can. You just roll, and then when you get to the top, you see where I'm connecting my rows, you'll just part your hair all around. I know some people don't care. They would just part their hair from ear to ear and then work in the back up to the crown of the head and then go to the top. But for me, I try to make sure that they circle around, whether I'm starting in the front or I start in the back. Okay, so for this row, that's a little fat because I didn't want to line it up with this row. Seems like I already been lining it up. So I made it a little fatter, and now I'll make sure my parts are in between the braids underneath because these 2 rows are matching up, but I'm not going back and doing it over either. So doing a little mini twist helps see if your part is straight, looking real clean. Just circle this last row around. Oh, that's way too thin. Hardly anything to even part. It's so thin. Okay. Okay, so is this enough, please? It's pretty thin. Let's see how much I can take from the top. Oh, that's already small enough. I can't take any more from that one. So this is what we're left with. They all look crooked. This one a little fatty over here. That's it. Finally on the last row. I can't sing because my dog won't come running in here. It's like having a child, baby. I do not want to wake her up. What is this big mama right here? Jab. That's why I made sure I started in the front. Because by the end of it, I'll be over it. It is what it is. As long as my front nice and neat, I'm good to go. The back, cool. She could definitely be better. And when you start doing larger parts, it gets a little bit more complicated. When you have smaller braids, your parts can be a little bit more forgiving. Finally. Okay, here's the back. So as you can see here, I did boho braids doing the miracle knots method. However, you can use this standard parting for any style. Knotless braids, twist, whatever.